So this video is going to be a little bit not like different, but there's two books that I got yesterday, and what I'm going to do, because I don't think everyone saw the original upload, I'm just going to go over all the books I'll be reading for the next 2 weeks. I didn't review yesterday, so I'll end card, if I remember, I'll put it at the comic reviews as an end card I already reviewed and returned. Because yesterday, a book came in for me, and I also want to get a movie along with it, so I was able to go in yesterday and get those. So, yay! On a brief update from my Complete November haul, I'm going to still try and make my December haul, Christmas haul, a bit more than I usually get for, more than 4, hopefully, at least. But I might have to budget it, which I don't like, but that's the way Cookie Crumbles. And honestly, if the books that I have right now with my budget, if I can just do that, that'd be fine. But it's kind of like, gets rid of 2 pretty big books, which is all right, but you'll see when I get to it, you'll see how it's able to make the sacrifices and how it's not that big a deal anyways. It's a lot of the books. Yeah, you'll see that when we get to it. Anyways, first one up is the movie, and I know I'm going over Christmas. It's kind of really funny that it's like November, not even the first of the month, but we do Christmas early, like we not Christmas Day, like a gift, because everyone wants to get done right away. First up is the movie I've watched before, and that is Princess Mononoke. I want to watch this one again. First time I read it, First time I watched it, I understood why people liked it a lot, but I was kind of like, yeah, that was not bad. I think I need to give it a second chance with a different set of eyes, so to speak. Different expectations, of course. Now the first 1, 2, 3, I think it was 16? Yep, first 16 are all rereads, including the new book. But you know what? I'll do the new book first, just so those of you who already saw the other video can skip out after this. The only new book that I got yesterday was House of Penance by Peter J. Tomasi. This is one that, like with Princess Mononoke, the first time I read it, I understand, even less so than Princess Mononoke. I didn't really understand if people like this one. I kind of felt it was kind of boring. But I think I need to give it a second chance to give it its fair shake. Now onto the ones I've shown before, but again, I don't think everyone saw that video, so it's kind of nice to do a refresh or two. And I need to get a video uploaded for Thursday anyways, so there you go. JLA Year 1 by Mark Waid. One I've read before, I really liked, and so far I liked it. I've read at least one. Well, actually, not all of these. I've read one of each, but almost all of these I've read one of each. Avengers Under Siege, one that I guess every 6 months I'm gonna check this book out. Just that good of a book. Feathers is giving a second chance to it. First time I liked it enough the first time I read it, but I wasn't super crazy about it, and I feel like I should have been more crazy about it, kind of thing. Spider-Man and Deadpool. This is volume 4, and yes, it was a reread. I was unsure about it the first time around, and I'm not even sure the next volume, which is coming in, even that one's a reread or not. So I can't remember which ones it did have. I feel like they've had more than they did before. I thought it was just the first 3 volumes they had, and volumes 4 and onward I couldn't get. And maybe that was just because for the few days there, this volume of Spider-Man Deadpool they said was unavailable from any library near me. And like that, like none of my state had it, which I found kind of weird because it was like, oh, all right, and that's why I thought for the longest time, well, those 3 days at least, that I had not. And anyways, yeah, just the longest time, about a week or so, I was like, did they even read that volume? Was I only able to read the first 3? But moving on, we have Justice League by Scott Snyder, Volume 1. One of the books that I just thought was super, like with Dark Knight's Metal, the first time I read it, I thought it was super convoluted and a mess and kind of boring. Give me a second chance. They don't have Volume 2, so, or if they do, we might, I don't know. I know they do now. The End Fantastic Four, one of those books I keep reading again and again and again because I don't understand why people consider this to be a super underrated comic. There's 1,000 other Fantastic Four, not 1,000 other, but it's 1,000 other books, some from Fantastic Four even, that I could point to as being underrated that they've never heard of, probably. Home, one of those books that is just so insanely backwards that I have to read again. The Filth by Grant Morrison, just a damn good Grant Morrison story. the every 6 months rule. Walking Dead. The fact that I took 3 years to get back on the series says a lot about how long the series is as a whole, and just how how far behind I got on, not far behind, but how how many more comics I was into, and then kind of completely forgot about it. Not I say kind of, like I said, I knew that they had it, but it's kind of like, oh yeah, we'll get it next time. Oh yeah, next time. And I just kind of kept forgetting to put it in, kind of thing, or to put it on my list, because they have the first 13 at my local library of the hardcovers. Like, and it's a local library when I go to pick up books. Wonder Woman Volume 3, again, series I just check out every 6 months or so. Yeah, what's nice about that budgeting the Christmas list is that the way I have it right now would be perfect if I get those. If I have the budget, it's fine. We did just pay for a new roof, so that's probably gonna be a hefty price for my parents. I understand that, and it's it's one that's something I understand, and it's not too much of a sacrifice. Honestly, what's kind of nice is it's one author's books. I can't get those, and that's fine. I'll get those. I mean, honestly, a lot of those I have the library. Actually, all those they have the local library, but one I'd have to wait a few months for. So it's kind of like, I don't want to do that. But even then, it's not gonna going too crazy this year. It's the same amount I always ask for, same price, So it's it kind of floors you. It's like, wait, it's the same price, and again, don't get me wrong, I understand, and I don't want to get too much into it and talking being ungrateful. I'm not. And again, that's why I'm happy if I have to budget with it, like going with the books I'm going with. But it's always in the back of my head. But Magneto Volume 4, Last Days, like a Wonder Woman, a damn good run that I have to read every 6 months. Alice Ever After, the first time I read this, I liked it enough, and so much so that I guess even, again, the 6 month rule. I guess even less because it was like June, right? So July, August, I count June. June, July, August, it's been the month. September, October, November, yep, 6 months. If you include November as a month, because it's again December. I know. Sometimes I don't count the month. I get it as a month, kind of thing. Star Wars Volume 4. Wicked and Divine. Come on, dog. And Darth Vader by Kieran Gillen, Volume 4. This is Volume 9 for Wicked and Divine, by the way. All three of these, yet again, 6 month rule. And if you don't know what I mean by that, you have not been paying attention to this video. Or you've been skipping through it. Which I don't mind if you skip through the video. Because when I prattle on, I was prattling on about the budget for Christmas and whatever. But talking about Christmas, that I understand if you want to skip past that one. That was kind of... even I'm like, should I even have mentioned that this early? God is Dead, Volume 6. Now, starting with God is Dead and continuing on to the rest of the books, these are all me reading these for the first time. So, God is Dead, Volume 6. 2 more of this, and then we're done. And I'm sad to see the series go already, because it's so damn interesting. Again, a series I know nothing what's going on. It's just strange. It's convoluted crazy, but it's the good kind of convoluted crazy. Basically, like how Comic Pop feels about, ironically enough, how they feel about Dark Knight's Metal. But more so positive, even more positive about Mike Costa's God is Dead for me. Poe Dameron, Volume 4. Now, Volume 5, the first 4 volumes I had in my local library when I go to pick up books. When I say local, I say it twice, that means actual local library. When I say local library, I usually mean interloans. Anyways, because I always go to the same place to pick up books, regardless. But Volume 5, even though a library has it, it's showing up as active, not as pending then shipped. Active means the library is checked out at that local library. And it's probably what's going to end up happening is that library lost the book. But not be surprised that ends up happening. If that is the case, if that ends up being the case, it's going to be no skin off my back. This series is the lesser of the 3 Star Wars books I've read. And still, of all the Star Wars books I've read in general, it's still middle ground. It's kind of like a 6 out of 10. It's just okay. I still want to check out the next volume, but not enough to where, not like, again, no skin off my back if they don't have next volume. Justice League Prisms by Bendis. This is the Bendis run. Like with the Scott Snyder run, they only seem to have volume 1 of the series. And honestly, after reading it, it's Bendis, modern Bendis, I probably won't care. But modern Bendis, I still do like I don't want to say appreciate, but I still like. It's kind of like, it's just interesting enough to where I just keep reading it kind of thing. Return of Wolverine by Charles Soule. That was, again, like I said before, it was one that was so surprising. Like, they had it on intro loans. I thought they never did, or I put it in, and it was like, nope, not available. But it was this time, and like, no, like, oh, we make not. No, it's just right at the bat. Yep, we got it. Here you go. In fact, it came in a day later. And I put it in so early that I had to go that day because I couldn't wait. I couldn't have them hold it for that long. That's how early I got it. Ronin Island, Volume 3. This is the last one. I said there was 4. There's just 3. It's 12-issue maxi series. And already sad to see the series go. It's a very damn interesting story. Batman Creature of the Night by Kurt Busiek. This is one that I just kept putting off. Then I put it in and I remembered again. It was because it's from a school library. It was during the summer, so I couldn't check it out then. Then I forgot about it again until just recently. She-Hulk Volume 2 of 2. Thank God it's over. I do not like the run so far. Bombshells Volume 1. Hopefully I like this book because I prematurely put in Volume 2. Worst case, if I really hate Volume 1 of Bombshells, I'll just return the book once I pick it up, one of those things. British Paranormal Society. A book that I've been waiting forever to read. Ever since I read issue 1 from a local comic shop. I never got issues 2 to 4. And unlike with 90% of Dark Horse, especially 90% and 99% of Hellboy books, this is from the world of Hellboy, is not written by Mike Mignola. It's written by Chris Roberson. It's not even co-authored. Mike Mignola is nowhere to be seen on this cover page. Credits. Look at the credits. Batman Dark Detective by Steve Englehart. This is one that I was looking up Steve Englehart because I was like, hey, let's see it. Because when I put in the Thor book, it's like, hey, let's see what else they have for Steve Englehart. He's kind of that writer that, like the classic comics writer I keep forgetting about because he's just, there in my eyes. Let's see what else they have. Maybe they'll have like a Avengers Defenders book. At least the original printing and not the Epic Collection printing. And they had this one. And I was like, Batman Dark Detective. Isn't that the Dark Knight Detective where they collect all the post-crisis Batman books? No, it's not. And I was very interested, and I was like, okay, let's check it out. And I almost checked it out last time, but I had way too many books last time. I was like, yeah, better off not doing that. And then this one, I was going to try and finish for yesterday, and that is Echolands. I'm going to have to finish it, for next time. Or next comic review. And that, as I say, is that. It's a quick little video, right? Yeah, pretty quick. So yeah, anyways, going over... So I'm going to go over Christmas again, because I feel like I'm going to get one of those comments that's going to be like a lecture, and they're going to say, hey, and I understand, I'm not going to, but it's the same budget price, and I feel like they always budgeted for that. Maybe they just kind of forgot, and whatever. But what's nice about it is I have a bunch of sets of books, so if I have to go really cheap, I can get still a good amount of books, but cheap. There's just so many I need to get. But it was but again, if the ones I have right now that I just took off one author's from, because it was 2 of them were pretty thick books. If I can, and one was a hard, it's a lot of thick books and hardcovers, honestly. If I can do that, that'd be perfect. I'll just get those my local library and wait till the one I had to wait for comes in. And by then, honestly, one of them is a huge book, and which is kind of annoying because it's a huge book. But once I finish even that, it's going to take a while. But the other ones I wanted a lot more than the one I have right here, so it's kind of one of those things where it kind of does work out, if you will. But hopefully I don't have to make too many more sacrifices, and hell, if anything, I can still get the books. It's just one of those things that when I first mentioned it, they were like, whoa, hey now, and I was like, alright, that's fine. But hopefully it all works out in the end. Maybe because sometimes my parents will forget what the budget used to be, what it is now, kind of thing, or not even what it is now, because it's always been the same. And it's just 2 weeks ago I found out that it might not be the same, or the hard way, I guess you could say. So that's why I was kind of like confused. It's more being confused than annoyed. Because again, I can budget it. I have so many different sets of books that I need, that I want, that I can budget it any other way. I can get the books, all the books from this guy. You know, if anything, I'll just do all the books in the same author one. There's one I want for that. The one I wanted was mainly compendiums and hardcovers. That's what I'm gonna try and get this month, for this Christmas. And there's the all by one author one. There's the one I know I can't get. It's really expensive, so it's kind of between those two. And there's one that would be all compendiums and hardcovers, like with the one I'm getting that I have right now. But one is all the same series. And if you know compendiums, you'll know what it is. And if you know me, you know what it probably is. But even that one I don't want. That's going to be like last resort, because it kind of breaks my rules, if you will. But that, as they say, is that. See you guys in the next one.